I got the wind knocked right out of me till I couldn't breathe at all. I got the wind knocked right out of me till I couldn't breathe, till I couldn't breathe.
Welcome to the Rock Review. I'm catching up with Kirsten Maxwell. And if you like that as much as I do, you're going to love this EP that came out this last year, which is your self-titled EP.
That's right.
And I love the rose, and also that, track 6 is, it started with a rose. Convenient.
I may have done that on purpose.
I like that. I like that. You and I were talking before we came down to the studio to where, what a great EP that you've put out here with so many different songs and the imagery. Your voice sounds great.
Thank you.
Like I told you, I can hear moments of Sarah McLachlan. Obviously, you're a big Joan Baez fan. You've won a few music songwriter contests over the years.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to get some opportunities to, enter some contests. The first one I did was in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And I just remember it was like the biggest deal ever, and I went and we got to travel there and
Right.
I played and I won, and it was like, oh, this is like really cool. I want to do it again, so I just kept entering contests, and the best thing about it was that I got to go to all these new places.
Yeah.
Like Rhode Island, I went to Florida for the South Florida Folk Festival contest. Which then turned into more gigs and
Yeah.
more friends, Texas, I went to Kerrville, and I met the people that I now live with. So it's all, interconnected.
Well, and you're from New York originally. And, truthfully, at 5, you kind of got your start in a different thing other than music.
Yeah, I was born into a family of opera singers and lovers, so when I was a kid, it was just sort of automatic that I would join the children's chorus, and my dad was the director of that, and so I learned a lot from him, and my mom too is an
Right.
amazing mezzo-soprano, and that was my upbringing, like until high school. I was
So you
singing
were in the family business
opera.
until high school.
Pretty much.
And then you're like, wait a minute, I think I'm going for the guitar and songwriting.
Yeah, well, at the same time, my mom also has a passion for country music, and she played guitar too. So when I was 12 or 13,
Right.
when any girl gets the urge to play guitar, she taught me my first few chords, and then I wrote a song, and then I wrote another one, and I couldn't stop.
Well, I found it so interesting too with your first album that you put out that you also sketch and paint.
Yeah.
And so part of your thing on your Kickstarter deal, and I thought it was so neat, to where you offered up a painting.
Well, I painted the cover, and that was honestly like a bigger undertaking than I expected, because painting to begin with is tough, but painting your own portrait is kind of crazy, and
Oh
I
my
never really
gosh.
done it before, but I was like, I'm gonna do it, So there were a lot of ups
So you're
and
playing
downs.
like a Van Gogh then at that point. I was like,
Luckily,
oh, yeah.
I didn't cut my own ear off.
Yeah,
but,
not a good call.
but I did. It was a really fun kind of crazy cathartic experience. I just spent hours listening to music and trying to make this painting happen.
Wow.
And it was all kind of part of the process of recording my first album and
Right.
putting it out, and it was all an expression of whoever I was at the time.
Yeah.
So
I really thought it was
cool.
great, though, too, on your website and everything else that you've done so far on how you engaged your fans. And obviously you got a strong fan base in New York, where you're from. But
Represent.
Now,
They're
yeah,
good.
But now you're from Nashville, and we were joking that anytime you go play back home, it's like, oh, yes, she's from Nashville now.
right, Nashville based. I'm I just got here. I don't know.
Well, and obviously, you got some great fans that love to come out and see your shows and love your music. And I know that the EP has done very well also. But, I mean, the voice and the writing, just like on Prism, we were talking about Butterfly and talking about, the butterfly effect in that song and how you're representing and explaining that.
Yeah.
That, simple actions can change the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's really kind of a deep song, It's like I was only about a cup of coffee in this morning, so I maybe need a little more. But I'm like, wow, that's such deep lyrics. And then
Thank you.
I Couldn't Breathe, the first track on here. I really like the imagery you brought to that song.
Thank you.
With your lyrics. And so you're writing away right now, trying to work on your next big album.
I'm working towards it. Yeah, we're getting there.
And you got lots of tours and stuff coming up.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going where the gigs take me, you know, and it's good. I mean, that's kind of what I've always done.
Yeah.
I would say, like, at this point, I'm probably more uncertain than I've ever been about what's coming next. But they say that's a good thing.
Yeah,
you know?
I was going to say that.
It means that something's coming, you know, when
Right.
you're sort of like, I don't know, there's just a lot of doors to open and people to meet. And I don't know what exactly is coming next, but I'm just kind of trying to be ready for it, whatever it is.
Well, and I think you need to continue with the sketches and the paintings also, and then you
thanks.
could kind of do combo shows.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. And I know that it makes me feel good. I love
Well,
I
and
love
the thing
painting.
is, my mother was an art teacher, and so I can't paint at all. And so I really enjoy seeing artwork, and obviously I was forced to go to a lot of art galleries as a young
course.
child. And there were only mummies in so many of those. And
well,
so it's like, but I love artwork, and I love to see that with the paintings and sketches.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
hoping you do more.
Thanks.
And maybe on this next album, in between writing the songs and recording
I
the
will.
songs.
I appreciate that. I'm glad you think that I should do that.
Yeah, because I love what you did on the early stuff that you showed on your
Thanks.
webpage and everything. So why not more?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I also like the idea of, you know, like the sort of lost art form of the album, you know,
Oh
like
my
sitting
gosh,
with
yes.
one album and like really appreciating the artwork that's like half the aesthetic, you know?
Well, you know, it's so funny too, because as I mentioned, you know, I've been listening to your album a lot, and when I'm looking over and I'm reading things and I'm looking at it, I like to absorb it.
Yeah, it's all part of the experience.
Yeah, I think it's
for
the
sure.
tactile part as well
Yeah.
as listening.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when you add in your music, you add in, you know, the album, you add in paintings and sketches.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like the whole deal.
That's true.
You could even do like little videos showing you working on things.
Oh boy.
I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea. So now, where is the best place for our viewers to buy your music, to keep up with you on your upcoming concerts and tours and everything? You got, you know, social media, everything. Where should they go?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, at She Is Maxwell is what I went with. So
I like it.
You can check it out there. I'm usually posting, you know, pictures or announcements about what's coming
Right.
up. And then I have a website, KirstenMaxwell.com, where everything is also.
So I got to ask you, I got to know this because I've never met her, but obviously a huge fan, Melissa Etheridge.
Oh, yeah.
What was it
Yeah.
like opening up for Melissa Etheridge, coming from, you know, the opera background and doing all this stuff, and suddenly, boom.
Yeah, I mean, that was like a huge mile marker for me. Biggest audience I ever played for, you know, biggest performance space. It was an awesome weekend. I will never forget, like, well, first of all, like the professionalism of the space, you know,
Right.
the whole like situation was just run really smoothly. And I feel like coming from where I am in this sort of underground, like folk scene, you know, you come across a lot of different situations, and it was just really cool to see like a well-oiled machine and be in a place where the sound was just on point, you know, and that was awesome.
Well, and I'm sure also it's a great way to present your songs to a massive audience
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
And
they're
have
all
that
there
kind of
already.
support.
Right, and they were amazing. Her audience, her fans are like, they were just incredible, and like they welcomed me. They were like laughing, and we had a rapport. And for me, it was really cool to realize that an audience that big could still feel intimate.
Right.
You know, like I've played plenty of house concerts
Yeah.
for like 20 or so people, and that's intimate. They're right there with you. But it was like so was this massive
Yeah.
crowd.
20,
you know?
20,000.
It's
Very
I don't know
similar.
about that many, but it's cool. Like we're all just people relating to each other,
Right.
regardless of the space or the scenario. So it was really awesome. And then she got on stage, and like all these women just like rushed to the front. You know, it was really cool.
That is so amazing because I mean, when I read that you had opened and played with her and everything like that, it's like going, wow, what a moment. I hope
was
you have
cool.
pictures of that.
There's some video roaming around
Yeah.
YouTube and stuff. So
Well, it's a
it's
good
cool.
start, you know, and so, you know,
Yeah.
who's next, you know?
I'm waiting to find out. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really enjoy this album. I
Thank
mean,
you.
what a great EP. You know what? There's all the songs are great. 6 songs on here. Don't just get the singles, you know, or add it to your playlist and everything. Get the whole album, and if they get it off your website, will you like sign up for them too?
Oh well, I'm happy to sign anything.
Look at that, and you'll have them on tour with you also at the shows.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear the new music coming out, but this is a high bar to jump over.
Thanks.
And your Eastman guitar sounds incredible.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
With a little help from Carter Vintage, right?
Yep. I got a whole team, working on it.
Look at that. You really are, New York first, now Nashville based, and touring the whole country.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a great EP. Be sure and get it. Kirsten Maxwell. Follow her, go see her shows. You're going to love these songs, and I think we're going to hear some great new music and also see some incredible new artwork. Thanks for watching The Rock and Review.